Here's just another sample because different kids will have different writing samples. Again, I'll start at the back so we can look at the very beginning of the year. Here we've got a little girl, I like being good on the first day of first grade. And then once we started getting some actual lessons in, looks like this one is from October. And so really went into text a little bit more, and you can see already from August to October how much she's grown with her writing. So that's one of my favorite parts of this portfolio that we get to send home. Although we don't teach Halloween, a lot of kids do celebrate it. So after special events like that, I want the kids to document it. I talk to them about if you don't celebrate Halloween, just write about what you did that day. So she actually did go trick-or-treating, and she wrote about that. Just like the other little boy sample, we've got a response to when the mayor came to visit our school. She chose to illustrate it as well. And I also have them send thank you cards to the mayor. If police officers and firemen come, they also do that. I usually send most of them, but if there's one that's a pretty good sample of their ability, I'll save that and add it to the portfolio. And here, another listen to reading response. You can see she chose the one that has the picture on the bottom. Some kids like to draw, some don't, so I always provide the option to do it or not. Here's just a sample of her book. This one, she's very much in a pattern. I want this, I want that. She chose not to illustrate that one. Here would be after Christmas break. We came back and wrote about what we did. Her sample of her 100th day writing. This looks like it's her beginning, middle, end. On this one, I had them on the back write the characters and the setting. And then another day we thought about what the beginning might be like. Talked about it, of course, very oral in first grade, but then we also went to writing. Here you can see she added illustrations. She also was quite elaborate with her BME foldable. And then the next week or few weeks, depending on how they worked, they turned that into an actual book. I love to see their growth in illustrations. You can see she's even toying with quotation marks, or speech bubbles. Very interesting. You can tell what she's picking up from mini lessons. And then, of course, the dating. And here's her computer lab book. She did something very interesting with hers. She's got her, again, same title and characters. There's a problem, event 1, and then I gave them some words like next and then to try and help them show how to pass time, and then the solution. And her book was very interesting. Before I let them go do this and actually type a book, I let them all just play around on the program and get used to it, and some of them really do get into it and get into the setting. So she did a pretty interesting thing with her book. She has the princess, the main character, going and traveling, and so she traveled, and you see she's using an ellipsis. And you can tell she really liked using the different settings because she's gotten traveled and traveled. And then she finally makes it to where she wants, and the story can continue. But that was a very interesting and I think complex use that of text and settings, so that was very nice to see her. And so a very fun way for the students to publish their last book. And she actually has another piece of writing. We end our year with a unit on poetry, and so she has tried a shape poem, and she's even tried several different types of poetry. A lot of them go home, but this one has stayed in her portfolio. I hope the 2 samples will help give you an idea of what you can start collecting for your students' writing portfolio.